Clemson. Sean Riley, dangerous return man, back deep for Syracuse. Clemson won the toss and deferred. So B.T. Potter will kick off, and he has a strong leg. 21 touchbacks in 28 kickoffs this year. And he bangs that one out of the back of the end zone, down on the field, Holly Rowe.
Well, for Syracuse, Eric Dungey has played here in Death Valley before, but he was injured in the first quarter. He does have a very strong memory, though, and that is how loud it was here in this stadium. He said, I remember going out there and calling the first play, and I couldn't even hear myself talk. The guys couldn't hear me, so they have worked all week on a nonverbal communication system to try to be on the same page on their offense with all this noise.
22-year-old senior from Lake Oswego, Oregon. Emerging as a pro prospect, he owns 14 Syracuse school records. But he played, as Holly said, very little here 2 years ago, and they got routed 54-0. Hands it off to Mo Neal, and he's ahead for 5. Tackled by Austin Bryant, part of the great Clemson front four.
Going to see Syracuse change their tempos today. They like to play fast, but they're going to mix them today to try to make this Clemson defense make adjustments and changes to their defense. They have great respect for the talent of this Clemson front four. They want to try to confuse them as much as they can.
Syracuse slogan, orange is the new fast. They've averaged a snap every 21 seconds. Neal again for 2 more. Matter of fact, Derek Dungey told us, Todd, that he thinks all 4 players on the defensive line for Clemson will be top 10 picks in the NFL draft.
It's hard to imagine there's a better group that's been in college football in the last many years. I mean, they are all uniquely talented. And the first third down play of the game for Syracuse. Dungey, an excellent dual threat quarterback.
And it's been an excellent start to the year for the Syracuse Orange, averaging 49.5 points per game. That's best in the ACC and 10th in the country. A veteran offensive line to deal with the noise and the terrific Clemson defense. Dungey hit as he throws, and it wobbles incomplete. In the general direction of Jamal Custis, Isaiah Simmons making his presence known.
Cannot hold the ball very long against this defensive front. That time Christian Wilkins and Cleveland Farrell both in there.
Before the play, timeout, Clemson.
Wow.
Oh, big break.
Now, are they saying that was before the third down play?
Yes.
Why are they still lining up as a punt?
Prior to the play, timeout, Clemson.
Yeah, that is a big break for Syracuse. They were incomplete on that third down play. There was pressure on the quarterback. Now they get another opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised to see a design quarterback run on this third down play. Again, Dungey is a 230-pound quarterback. He's an excellent runner. The big thing for him is he's fearless, which is a big plus. Sometimes he's reckless, which is not a big plus. He takes too many hits in the second level of the defense sometimes when he runs the football.
Well, he's been knocked around throughout his career. This was 2015 against Central Michigan, a helmet-to-helmet hit in his second start for Syracuse. Later that year against Pitt. This is tough to watch.
Yeah. I mean, some of these he can't avoid, you know, in a sack. But when he's running the football and he gets to the second level, that's where he needs to make good decisions.
He's rushed for more than 1,500 yards. This is Sean Riley, a big playmaker coming off the best game of his career in their win against Connecticut. And that's a 20-yard gain and a first down to the Clemson 49.
I'll tell you what, they love this guy leading the play. He's listed as a tight end, Chris Elmore, but he's really like an offensive guard at 280 pounds.
Riley again, very close to another first down. It looks like they're going to spot him out at the 40-yard line, a yard shy.
It's very easy to get your tempo going fast when you're on the hash closest to your sideline. And Syracuse taking advantage of that in this opening drive. Remember, it was an opening drive last year that really set the Clemson defense on their heels up in the Carrier Dome. Brent Venables told us we had a lot of busted assignments in that opening drive last year.
It looked like the Syracuse tempo did cause a problem. Dungey, despite the injuries, not afraid to run. They got down their first possession of the game last week against Connecticut. The goal line, it was designed runs for the quarterback.
Well, Clemson is a defense that likes to pressure and add extra guys to the line of scrimmage and play a lot of man coverage with a single safety like right here. So if you want to run, you got to run the quarterback some.
Into the bag of tricks, the Orange early. Devin Butler got slammed to the grass as he tried to turn the corner at the 34-yard line. Trey Lamar, the linebacker, their leading tackler for the year, a junior from Roswell, Georgia.
It's the third wide perimeter play they've had in this opening possession, trying to make this defensive line run a little bit. A good mixture so far inside and outside for Syracuse.
Dungey and Penn State's Trace McSorley, the only active quarterbacks with more than 7,000 career passing yards and 1,000 rushing. Throws, man open down the sideline, caught by Mo Neal, the running back, and they'll mark him out at the 16.
This is just excellent work by the quarterback, extending the play, and then Mo Neal moving with his quarterback and going deep on the scramble. Linebacker Kendall Joseph got caught in coverage, and Dungey made him pay for him. Excellent job extending the play with his legs.
Neal remains the running back. And they toss it to him. He's in trouble and did well to get back to the line of scrimmage. Cleveland Farrell made the tackle after Trey Lamar had excellent penetration behind the line.
This Clemson defense has not allowed a first half touchdown here in this stadium for 10 games.
Very little for Sean Riley. A.J. Terrell, the cornerback out of Atlanta, sophomore.
When we talked to Dino Babers last night at the hotel, he said, the first thing he said, I feel good about our offensive line. I think we can hold our own up there. And so far in this first series, yes.
Veteran offensive line, 120 combined career starts. They held their own in the upset 27-24 win at the Carrier Dome last year when Clemson was ranked number 2. Dungey talked last night about the importance of a good start today. It was a good drive, but it stalls in the red zone. Mo Neal dumped behind the line of scrimmage. Trey Lamar a factor again.
This is kind of a bust by the center, I think. They walked right up into the A-gap with a linebacker, and the center just kind of let him go. And it went right into the run play, and that play had no chance.
So here comes the field goal kicker, a revelation for Syracuse. Andre Schmidt, redshirt freshman walk-on. They didn't know much about him in the preseason. In fact, Dino Baber said, I really didn't learn his name until he kept making every kick in practice. And this one is good. And he's now 11 for 12. State high school record. His hair has a Twitter account.
You don't even have a Twitter account, do you?
And I don't have hair either. My hair certainly does not have a Twitter account. They'll be facing a 3-0 deficit when he takes the field. Sterling Hoffrichter, the Syracuse punter, is the kickoff man. Lynn J. Dixon. Good coverage by Syracuse. Their special teams have been outstanding so far this year.
Well, I put the film on of the game last week against Georgia Tech. It didn't take long for me to see what makes this kid special. This is the first possession. He sees man-to-man. He checks at the line of scrimmage, knows what he wants. He's going to roll to his left. And once he sees this corner move up, he knows he has single coverage to the corner of the end zone with Hunter Renfrow. Watch this dime he delivers. Unbelievable arm talent for an 18-year-old freshman, and he's only going to get better and better the more he develops.
Appeared in their first 4 games against Furman, Texas A&M, Georgia Southern, and Georgia Tech, and was impressive. How about that throw? And you can expect to see many more of those laser beams today. Out to the 35 they go. T. Higgins the catch.
Excellent protection. They kept the back in to help. And a nice throw across the middle on the dig route.
Started the year as the backup to Kelly Bryant, who went 16-2 last year, and this year as the starter. But it was clear to most that Lawrence was the better player. The results much better this year when he was in the game. They misconnected on the handoff with Travis Etienne, and Syracuse has the ball. Alton Robinson, the recovery for the Orange at the 30-yard line.
I put this on the quarterback. I think he got a little bit indecisive and kept that ball in the hip too long before he made a decision to maybe pull the ball out. Obviously, they've worked on that. They've repped that. But Kelly Bryant was more the natural runner in the offense, and Trevor Lawrence more the passer. And that time, a little mistake, and I put that more on the quarterback than on the tailback.
Well, Todd, it's one thing to come in off the bench knowing you're playing behind a veteran starter. It's another thing knowing you're the man.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, they feel like he's a really good decision maker in the run game. But he looked a little indecisive on that first zone read type play, and it resulted in a turnover.
Dabo Swinney said he can scoop, describing the running skills of Lawrence. So Syracuse in position, and a seam throw by Dungey, a little bit too high for Devin Butler.
A.J. Terrell was in excellent coverage. Sometimes when you go with that kind of a formation, you hope that you're going to get an inside receiver on a safety or a linebacker. That was one of their best corners, and that would have taken an absolutely perfect throw.
Dungey out of the gun, lots of time, out in the flat to Monio, and he's chopped down for a loss by Isaiah Simmons back at the 32.
Isaiah Simmons is really an outstanding athlete. He was a backup safety a year ago. They moved him to outside linebacker, and he's still learning the position, but he has great range, long arms, and an explosive tackler. That was a huge play on second down.
Great athlete. He was on the Clemson track team as a long jumper during his redshirt football season. 3rd and 13 on the fringe of field goal range, and Dungey throws it away. They were trying to set up a screen, and Clemson was ready for it. And some woofing. Syracuse knew that Clemson would be ready emotionally for this after the Tigers' defeat in the Carrier Dome last year.
Well, that's a case of your defense bailing your offense out. They turn the ball over in your own territory, and not only do they get a 3 and out, but they make Syracuse go backwards offensively. That shows you the caliber of this Clemson Tiger defense.
So Schmidt made a 35-yarder after the opening drive, trying from 41. As long as 50. That was in the Carrier Dome against Wagner. 51-yard try in the air, and good.
Wow.
Schmidt continues to happen for the Syracuse Orange.
He looks surprised. You see his eyes? It's like, did I just do that?
6-0 Syracuse, some of the all-time greats. Two field goals for Syracuse. And a 6-0 lead for the Orange as Sterling Hoffrichter kicks off again. Darion Kendrick back deep. Adam Choice also back there. This is returnable for the true freshman Kendrick. And again, excellent coverage at the 17-yard line by Kyle Kleinberg. Here's Holly.
Well, guys, I tried to keep a close eye on Trevor Lawrence, the Clemson quarterback, getting his first college start today in pregame warmups. He was loose and fun and easy. He was having a great time slinging the ball, big smile on his face. But I think the smartest thing he did all pregame warmup is as soon as he finished one important drill, he went over and hugged every one of his offensive line. He knows they are the key to his true success today. I thought that was a pretty savvy move from the freshman quarterback.
Well, the coaches and his teammates talk about his poise. Perhaps it's tested a bit. They go to the run. Travis Etienne, he got blasted but got the first down to the 32-yard line, hit by Andre Sisco and Evan Foster.
Etienne is one of those explosive guys that every time he touches the ball, you know he can make it a big play. Had a 52-yard touchdown run against Syracuse a year ago. Dino Babers and their staff very aware of his big play capabilities.
Averages 7.5 yards per carry in his career. That is the Clemson career yards per carry mark. He's just a sophomore. Etienne actually below his career average as he got 4. Kylan Whitner, linebacker, leading tackler for Syracuse on the season.
Syracuse likes their offensive line, and they also like their defensive line, but they know this is the biggest challenge they've faced.
Syracuse brings a blitz. Lawrence steps into a long throw. Single coverage, and it sails out of bounds in the direction of T. Higgins, with Christopher Frederick, veteran cornerback, making his 23rd straight start in coverage.
Decent pressure that time by Alton Robinson, who is their best pass rusher, number 94. And they feel, Brian Ward, their defensive coordinator, says, I think we can pressure this guy with only 4 guys rushing. And if they can do that with some consistency, that really helps them on the back end in terms of complexity of coverage.
They've had 10 sacks in their last 2 games. Lawrence in the crowd. Reaching catch made on the boundary by T. Higgins. Just short of the first down, it appears. 4th down and 1. This big crowd wants Dabo Swinney to go for it. It looks like the punting team is going to come out. It's also the kind of position on the field if you had a fake.
Yeah. Well, Syracuse coming into the game, best in the country at average starting field position. And so I think you don't want to give them a short field. They've already got confidence. Play to your defense right here. Punt the football, cover the kick, and let your defense play.
Will Spires, the punter, redshirt sophomore. Son of Bill Spires, 13-year Major League Baseball veteran, now working here with the coaching staff. And a fair catch made by Sean Riley. 49-yard punt. Well, you'll expect whiteout conditions for this one tonight. What a matchup. Top 10, big-time college football playoff implications. Number 4, Ohio State. Number 9, Penn State. In Happy Valley, 7:30 Eastern on ABC, and of course on the ESPN app. Dwayne Haskins, a great first year as the Ohio State starter.
Well, Trace McSorley, I think one of the best competitors and leaders in college football. Dwayne Haskins, yes, he played against TCU, and it was away from Columbus, but that was kind of a neutral site game. A lot of Ohio State fans there. This will be a different experience for him tonight in Beaver Stadium.
There's a holding penalty against Syracuse. So rear poor field position this year for the Orange. You mentioned their special teams, Todd. They have a plus 19 yard per game advantage in field position, largely because of the play of their special teams. They kick it well, they cover well, they return well. It was Clemson that did the job that time. Quick slant, then Devin Butler lunges out to the 13 for a first down, gain of 8. Trayvon Mullen, the tackle.
I like the call. I really like the call by Mike Lynch, offensive coordinator. Don't play fearful. Don't play to trying not to lose. Nice throw from deep in your own territory, and now you got a lot of options here on 2nd and short.
Aaron Hackett in at tight end. They're down a couple of their key tight ends. Dungey looked like he had a pretty big hole, but did not get the first down yardage. Stood up about a half yard shy. Mike Lynch. Their play calls aren't very complicated. When you go fast, you don't have a lot of signals and a lot of terminology. Dante Strickland, the running back. And Isaiah Simmons looked like the first to hit him, and it looks like they've stopped him. And they have, about a foot short, it seems, of the 15-yard line.
Simmons came off the edge. They got a decent push on the inside, but Simmons came off the edge so quickly and was able to get the stop.
Well, no movement yet off that Syracuse sideline. Dino Babers with the punt team coming on. I think he's wondering if there was going to be a measurement. There's not, so he sends out the punt team.
Well, and again, you talk about field position. Syracuse average starting field position, their own 41. That punt puts them back with the penalty. Now you flip the field, and the next time Trevor Lawrence gets the football, they should be in Syracuse territory.
Hoffrichter averaging 45 yards per punt. He leads the ACC. Amari Rogers, trouble with the fair catch, and managed to make it near the... 51 straight home wins for Alabama against unranked opponents. Almost certainly going to be 52 after today. Twice as long a streak as anybody else. On first down, Tavian Feaster gets 8.
It's a nice 1-2 punch between Etienne and Feaster. Both of them getting better and better. I think you're going to see Amari Rogers and Hunter Renfro get their hands on the ball in this possession.
Feaster stays in. He's averaged more than 6 yards per carry for his career. Trevor Lawrence handed it off. And Feaster got just enough for the first down. Took a hit from Kendall Coleman, junior from Indianapolis, part of a very talented front four for a much improved Syracuse defense this year.
248 yards rushing a week ago against Georgia Tech. Davo thought that was their most complete game, offense and defense. Perfect situation right here to play action and take a shot now after those successful runs.
Trevor Lawrence, just the 6th true freshman to start a game at quarterback for Clemson. Got the ball to Amari Rogers, and he is out of bounds shy of the first down in Syracuse territory at the 41.
Very interesting wide receiver. He's built like a running back, not a tall, sleek, slender wide receiver. And that's why you see those kind of plays, the little quick toss, and he turns into a running back when he catches the football.
He's the son of T. Martin, former Tennessee quarterback, now on the coaching staff at USC. It's Rogers again. Yanked down by Antoine Cordy, and Clemson on the move, down 6-0 with 3.5 to go in the opening quarter.
Well, there's 2 throws to Rogers. Now Renfro's the guy that's got to get involved. Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott, co-offensive coordinators, spread that ball around.
Play fake by Lawrence. A rocket and a completion near another first down, just shy of the 20-yard line. T. Higgins, as Lawrence stood in there under some pressure from Chris Slayton.
He has excellent pocket presence. He's 6'6", so he can see over the defense. Good poise in the pocket, and of course the strong arm.
Swings out wide. There's Renfro wide open. And it's first down and goal for Clemson. Antoine Cordy, the tackle. That's career catch number 150 for the former walk-on Renfro, the 10th player in Clemson history with 150 catches.
Little RPO, good read by Trevor Lawrence. Syracuse with more guys in to stop the run, and he threw that quick screen to the wide receiver. That was his read all by himself.
Feaster, the running back. Crowd very quiet with Clemson on offense. The fade and an incomplete pass for Justin Ross. And Christopher Frederick had the coverage. There's Amanda Lawrence in the middle of your screen. Trevor Lawrence's mother. Undoubtedly butterflies churning,
no doubt,
for the Lawrence family today. Second and goal. Etienne now the running back for the Tigers. And he takes the handoff, loses a helmet, might have been a face mask. And the crowd wanted a late hit as well. McKinley Williams hit him behind the line of scrimmage. Dabo Sweeney irate.
Face mask. Defense, number 98. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down. Number 9 does not have to leave the game.
Good pressure up the middle, but just an error by McKinley Williams, grabbing for the face mask and ripping the helmet off. He got penetration into the backfield. He had the play stopped, but just a poor job of tackling and a big break for Clemson.
And then the crowd wanted a flag on that as well. The extra polish at the end of the play. They might have a point.
Single coverage out here.
On first and goal from the 4. Adam Choice, tough run as he powered his way inside the 2.
Adam Choice is a 5th-year senior, a guy that just knows what they're doing. He's very reliable, very dependable, and he's in there in this goal line package for Clemson.
Strong, 220 pounds, compact 5'9", graduate with a degree in psychology. 2nd and goal. Choice is the choice again, and he stopped just shy of the goal line. Dabo Swinney in his 10th full season as head coach, took over as an interim coach.
Well, they're in their jumbo goal line set right now. That means Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins, their 2 starting defensive tackles, are in as fullbacks, blocking backs, I would presume.
You would think. The crowd loves it. Etienne, the running back. Lawrence shifts out. Wildcat. They follow those big bodies. Into the end zone goes Travis Etienne. Nice drive by Clemson, and if they kick the extra point off the foot of Greg Hugel, Syracuse will trail for the first time this year. 7-6 for the #3 team in the country. 54 seconds to go in what has been an entertaining first quarter here in Clemson, South Carolina. Etienne already his 6th rushing touchdown.
And what you believe deep in your heart you could be. What will your Clemson moment be?
Tigers, they've won their last 7 ACC home openers. Haven't lost one since they went down to Miami here in 2010. The Tigers leading 7-6. BT Potter kicks off to the dangerous Sean Riley, but he won't have a chance. What a weapon Potter is. Syracuse on offense after this.
Chorizo from Chipotle.
Rowe, our producer Phil Dean, our director Scott Johnson, our terrific crew, delighted to have you with us. One of the liveliest venues in all of college football. Memorial Stadium in Clemson. The homestanding Tigers up a point. Eric Dungey's pass incomplete. Tried to get it quickly to Devin Butler, who was tightly covered by A.J. Terrell.
Yeah, really good coverage by Terrell. These 2 corners, Mullen, #1, and Terrell, #8, are very similar in stature. 6'1", 6'2", about 195 pounds. Both have a chance to be really, really special.
Eric Dungey, the Syracuse quarterback, now 6 out of 9 passing. On target there for a gain of nearly 9 to Taj Harris, a true freshman with just his 4th career catch.
Syracuse needs to really take advantage of those kind of plays. That time Clemson just went with a 3-man defensive front, and they dropped Austin Bryant in pass coverage. When they don't rush all 4 of those dudes, capitalize.
Syracuse could not capitalize on 2nd and 3rd and short on the last possession. Dungey will have to snap it before the end of the quarter. About a 2-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. Clemson showing pressure, and they bring it. And they flush Dungey immediately. Running out of room, he throws it away. J.D. Davis in hot pursuit.
Not sure what Syracuse was trying to run. It looked like another quarterback draw or a screen, and there was nothing there, and Dungey just tried to get outside and make something happen. That was very well defended by Syracuse on by Clemson on 3rd and short.
Well, here's Sterling Hoff-Richter to punt it away to Amari Rogers.
If something opens up against this Clemson defense, it does not stay open very long.
They come after the punt, and Hoff-Richter hits it a million miles in the air. Wow. And it's muffed by Rogers. 2nd time he struggled to field a punt, but he fell on the ball at the 13-yard line. 52-yard punt. End of 1 here at Clemson. 79 degrees at the moment. A touch on the humid side. The sun in and out of the clouds and a light breeze. Into the face of Trevor Lawrence, the true freshman quarterback. He begins the 2nd quarter. with a swing pass to Amari Rogers. A nifty run after the catch, out just shy of the 20-yard line, where he's stopped by Kylan Whitner.
Again, the ability of Rogers. He's built like a running back. He's physical. So you get him involved in a lot of those kind of plays where when he catches it, he can immediately turn into a running back.
Tony Elliott told us yesterday, the offensive coordinator, co-coordinator with Jeff Scott, they want to get Rogers the ball more, and clearly they're making the effort to do that. Adam Choice and a big tackle by Evan Foster, the safety, up near the line of scrimmage to stop him short of the first down. Third down and short now for Clemson.
We talked to Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator for Syracuse. He really thought the absence of Kelly Bryant was going to change the Clemson offense, that the quarterback run was such a big part of what they had been. And with him gone and a freshman behind a freshman now on the depth chart, he didn't think they would run the quarterback nearly as much, and they haven't so far.
Chase Bryce is the backup quarterback, a redshirt freshman. And Coach Sweeney loves Bryce's talent, but he's obviously very inexperienced.
Yeah.
Lawrence, 7 out of 9 passing for 71 yards.
There's Chase Bryce, confident young guy, and Trevor Lawrence is a good runner. But the question is, how much do you want to expose him with your quarterback situation being the way it is right now from a backup standpoint?
Travis Etienne got the first down. Lawrence showing his good feet there, weaving through the traffic and wisely sliding down at the 32-yard line, about 3 yards short of the marker.
Just thought it was really interesting listening to Dabo talk about Trevor Lawrence, and he's just the same every day. He committed to them back in his junior year. He never wavered. He knew there was great competition here and never wavered at all on his decision and his commitment, and has just been a solid guy every day.
He gave it to Etienne in the clear and tackled from behind in Syracuse territory at the 43 by Ryan Guthrie with help from Andre Sisco.
Well, there's one unblocked guy. It's right there. Number 14's got to make that tackle. Evan Foster's one of their best players, but he was unblocked and missed the play. It was good blocking everywhere else, but that unblocked guy has to make the play, and Foster not able to do it.
He's been bothered by a groin injury. They weren't sure midweek if Foster would play. 26-yard gain. Lawrence on target. And Ross frustrated as he stepped out of bounds after the catch.
See, again, I think what Trevor Lawrence brings to this offense that is different than what Kelly Bryant brought is a consistent passing game that can be accurate in the short, intermediate, and deep down the field. And they know they can run the football. They've got talent, but now that just makes them so much more difficult to defend than they were earlier in the year, or last year in particular.
Tavian Feaster driven back by Kylan Whitner. And here is the comparison of how they had fared this season. And there was no question as we watched the film, you talked to the Clemson coaches, Dabo Swinney said our players knew Lawrence was the better player, and that's what we do here. If you're better at your position, you start at every position.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's the passing game and the ability to get his team in the end zone. He just did it better than Kelly Bryant.
Rolls to his left. Short throw, and then a nice move after the catch by Darian Kendrick. There's a flag down.
Yeah, there's linemen downfield. This play took too long, and Clemson had a couple offensive linemen down the field, and this one's going to come back.
An eligible player downfield offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, first down.
John Simpson, the left guard, with the first penalty assessed against the Tigers today.
It was good coverage initially down the field by Syracuse, and that forced Trevor Lawrence to hold the ball longer than he wanted to and hit an outlet guy. You can see Dabo Swinney trying to get the attention of John Simpson there.
Dabo Swinney told us yesterday he first met Trevor Lawrence when Lawrence was a 9th grader and already making a name for himself in Georgia. Swings it wide. Tavian Feaster lost the football. That's his shoe. Pardon me, not the football. He lost his shoe.
Runner is ruled down.
He was ruled down. His shoe was definitely down. Josh Black there near where the shoe is on the field, and he apparently is injured, grabbing his right lower leg.
His shoe's off
his
too.
Shoe. That's why he's down. He's putting his shoe back on. Don't think he's injured. They help Black up. He is a key backup. Really rotates at the nose with McKinley Williams. Coach Ward, the defense coordinator, said they would play equally today. Well, I guess now the question is, was he down?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
His butt hit the ground there when he rolled off the defender. Another good run by Feaster, though. Both Feaster and Etienne are off to good starts in this game running the football. And again, because of the passing threat, you have to cover. You can't put too many guys in the box, and then it just becomes a matter of math. Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator, is an engineering guy, loves math, and sometimes it's pretty simple.
And he told us yesterday, the last 3 weeks, Feaster has really come on. They like him in pass protection in particular. Lawrence 9 out of 11 throwing for 88 yards. They really haven't run design runs for him yet. Feaster remains lead running back on 2nd and 7. Lawrence little too deep for T. Higgins, with Christopher Frederick running stride for stride.
Trevor Lawrence stays in the pocket, takes a hit kind of late. In the NFL, that's probably a penalty. It wasn't called a penalty here, but the way things are going in the NFL, that's probably a penalty. Incomplete, good coverage down the field.
Well, Ryan Guthrie might have gotten away with one there as he hit his fellow Georgian. 3rd down and 7. Lawrence under duress, and it looked like his knee might have been down before he got rid of the ball. Andrew Armstrong with the rush, junior linebacker from Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, this is really made by the defensive tackle. The defensive tackle is going to attract 2 blockers as he makes a bull rush up the middle, and that frees up Andrew Armstrong, coming on kind of a safety blitz.
So they're opting for a long field goal try here from the 5th-year senior, Greg Hugel. Will Sweeney is the holder. The replay booth might be stopping this. I think Dino Babers.
Well, the question is, did the ball cross the line of scrimmage? He had left the tackle.
Syracuse is challenging.
I think the quarterback's knee was close to being down before he hit. His knee was down before he got rid of the ball. Great look from our crew, and you can see it's very close, but the ball out of his hand just before the knee goes down.
Well, my concern or thought was, you know, you got to leave the tackle box to throw it away like that, but the ball also has to cross the line of scrimmage, and I don't think it was even close to crossing the line of scrimmage, but there are some other rules in play there that...
Yep, we'll bring Bill Lamagna in on that, but first the field goal tried by Hugel. 5th-year senior. Missed most of last year due to an injury suffered in practice, and that one is wide right. All the way from 47 yards. So still 7-6 in favor of Clemson early in the 2nd quarter. Dabo Sweeney and Clemson in another tough battle with the Syracuse Orange, who upset Clemson in the Carrier Dome last year. 7-6 Tigers. Eric Dungey on 1st down. As Taj Harris, they'll mark him at the 37, a gain of 7, stopped by Nolan Turner, a backup safety.
Yeah, there was nothing fluky about Syracuse's win last year. They outplayed Clemson on both sides of the ball, and Eric Dungey was magnificent. They're very confident today.
Interesting play, a throw back into the middle of the field by Dungey to Mo Neal. Niles Pinckney, backup defensive lineman, made the stop there. Deep in that defensive front as well. Brent Venables said, our starters, they're great players, but they're fresh because the backups have been very solid.
Well, Syracuse needs to convert this 3rd and short. You've got backup defensive linemen in. You've stopped yourself on 3rd and short a couple times. They've got to convert this one. I would expect
1 out of 5 on 3rd down. Dungey, late pitch. Plenty of running room, but there's a flag to stop the play.
Left tackle moved. Cody Conway, the left tackle, moved early. Now it's 3rd and 6.
False start. Offense number 60. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
There's Conway right there, one of the real leaders up there, just a hair early, and 3rd and 1 now becomes 3rd and 6. And the starting defensive front back in for Clemson. They got a rest on the first couple plays, but now on this 3rd down play, they're back in.
Dungey has not been a running threat today. He's rushed for just 4 yards. Throws it deep, and a juggling catch made by Taj Harris. And he's out of bounds, deep in Clemson territory with a first down. They're going to mark it at the 14-yard line.
They had him matched up on a safety. Nolan Turner, number 24, and he ran right by him. Beautiful throw over the outside shoulder by Dungey under duress, and a huge play for the Syracuse Orangemen.
They're waiting for wide receivers to emerge. They love the talent of the true freshman from Beverly, New Jersey, Harris. They've had a number of drop balls during this 4-0 start, and that was an anxious moment for Syracuse. Neal, running room on the screen. Neal cuts inside. 1st and goal, Syracuse. At the 2-yard line, Isaiah Simmons and J.D. Davis prevented the touchdown.
Took advantage of the blitz. They threw right into the face of a blitz, this little swing pass. Kendall Joseph was blitzing from the outside, and right into that voided area, they threw the football to the back. And a couple plays in a row that have really kind of hurt Brent Venables' defense here.
They bring that big body Chris Elmore in. Offset left, Dungey. He puts his head down and powers to the goal line.
I think he drove in.
It looked from up here like he might have. Kendall Joseph with the hit.
Elmore is listed as a tight end, but he's about 290 pounds and really is like another offensive guard.
Dungey said last night to us, Elmore loves the contact. Dante Strickland said if you follow him, he'll get you where you need to go. Dungey follows him into the end zone. Touchdown, and Syracuse reclaims the lead midway through the 2nd quarter.
This is not a tight end, and this is not a fullback. This is an offensive guard lined up in the backfield. Get right on his hip and follow him into the end zone.
That's an All-American Dexter Lawrence at 350 pounds, who he moved backwards.
What a drive. The big throw to Harris.
Andre Schmidt for the extra point. And he hasn't missed one of those this season. Now 25 out of 25. 70-yard drive. Capped by Dungey. His 25th career rushing touchdown.
Yeah, rated everyone. ACC is brought to you by Mazda. Feel alive. And Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific.
Friends, you can stream college football all season long on ESPN Plus. Start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app or visiting ESPNplus.com. If you have the app, it's the app with even a little bit more. Everybody loves the ESPN app. Syracuse has recaptured the lead here at Clemson, where the Tigers have won 10 straight home games. A little uneasiness in the crowd. They're well aware of what happened in Syracuse a year ago. And this Syracuse team looks like it's ready to compete on Clemson's home turf today. Sterling Hoffrichter, light breeze at his back. Amari Rogers takes the knee, and we send it to Kevin Dungey.
Sean, here's today's All-State Mayhem moment, taking you to Chestnut Hill. BC's Michael Walker off a Temple touchdown, fumbling the kickoff return. Isaiah Graham-Mobley with the scoop and score. 14 points in 19 seconds for the Owls. They're up by 1 on the road. Back to you guys.
You know, Sean, there's 5 starting defensive players for Syracuse on the field right now that were starting as true freshmen when they were here the last time. Much different. That game, they were down 30-0 at halftime. They lost their quarterback. They end up losing 54-0. It's a much different Syracuse football team.
Adam Choice through the hole left side. Got tripped up, but got about a 7-yard gain. Evan Foster, the safety, and Coach Brian Ward last night, the defense coordinator, said our safeties have to tackle. Yeah. And if he didn't make that tackle, it might have been a much longer run by Choice, who stays in. Play fake. Lawrence a little bit behind his intended receiver.
Yep. They had what they wanted. Syracuse added an extra safety into the box that time to stop the run. So that left single coverage on the outside, and they had what they wanted with T. Higgins, but the ball was thrown behind him.
There's 3rd down and 4. They're 2 out of 4 on 3rd down. 7 minutes to go in the half. Lawrence with time as his man.
Mr. Reliable.
Yeah, Hunter Renfro. Just enough for the 1st down to the 37-yard line.
Guy has a great feel for the passing game and anticipation and just being in the right spot.
And with the departure of Kelly Bryant, the former starting quarterback, Renfro has been practicing at quarterback. He would be an emergency quarterback if it got to that. Yes. Adam Choice, a tough run, fighting for everything, and got enough for the 1st down at the 47-yard line.
Beautiful block by John Simpson, the left guard, pulling out in front of that play.
Tony Elliott says Simpson, the left guard, the most athletic offensive lineman they have. And it's a very strong offensive line. Mitch Hyde, the left tackle, making his 47th career start today. Lawrence in trouble and smothered. Chris Slayton, 5th-year senior.
He had Renfro too. It's right over the right guard here. Slayton on the inside tackle. It's just a 4-man rush, and their guy was better than your guy. Got to the quarterback. He had Renfro coming open on the deep crossing route, but that's just Slayton beating Stewart to the quarterback.
Loss of 6. Lawrence handed it off. Etienne yanked down at midfield by Keelan Whitner. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, Todd, you're talking about Hunter Renfro, and actually they have been aware of Hunter Renfro and that rub play that he likes to play all week at Syracuse. They said the Renfro rub is what we're worried about. They watched Alabama film and how he hurt them in the national championship win, but then how Alabama handled him in the championship loss. So they are very aware of that Renfro rub today.
He's a crafty wide receiver and probably the most valuable in these kind of situations, 3rd down passing situations.
And Brian Ward said when Clemson lines up, our players yell, Renfro rub, Renfro rub. They kind of feel like they know when it's coming. Lawrence stayed alive a long time and did well to get back near the line of scrimmage, and now he is not getting up. And this was the biggest concern, Todd, starting the game.
Absolutely.
If he gets hurt, Kelly Bryant is no longer here.
Well, he gets forced out of the pocket, and Evan Foster, number 14, is the guy that's going to come up and hit him. He actually stepped out of bounds before the hit, but the whistle didn't blow and the play wasn't stopped.
We'll check on Lawrence when we come back. 4:56 to go in the opening. Clemson sideline.
Well, the hit was okay. The reason that's not a targeting hit or forcible contact to the head or neck area is he's not a defenseless player. He's a runner at that point when he leaves the pocket. Now, the reason for the delay now, they're going to move this ball back to where he stepped out of bounds. It appears on the, they gave him to the 49-yard line, but he actually stepped out of bounds about 6 yards shy of that. So it'll be a longer punt situation for Clemson. But Chase Bryce, in all likelihood, will be the next quarterback out there for Clemson.
And that's what makes what Kelly Bryant did so confounding. I think, it's a violent sport.
He got knocked out in this game last year.
Right.
No, this is
Lawrence after he got up. And then a little woozy. But you're always...
The runner was down at the 45-yard line, stepped out of bounds at the 45-yard line. 4th down.
They'll move the ball back about 4 yards.
But the thing with the quarterback and Kelly Bryant, you know, he had the right to make that decision if he felt it was important and necessary for him to play somewhere else for another year. He was still going to play here. But I just think, you know, it ends up being a very selfish decision because you don't put the team first. You put yourself first, and you put your team in peril if something like this happens. And I always heard and thought that he was a great team guy.
Bill Spires the punt. The crowd wanted a flag for an illegal block as the fair catch was made at the 11-yard line by Sean Riley. So Kelly Bryant waited his turn behind Deshaun Watson, obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the country, first-round pick in the NFL. Bryant took them to the national semifinals last year, started the first 4, all wins. He said, I didn't do anything to lose my job. And Dabo Swinney said, well, perhaps you didn't, but Lawrence is better, and it's my job to play the best players at every position.
And they would have both continued to play. Alabama needed 2 quarterbacks to win the national championship last year, and Clemson probably does too.
Lawrence is out of the tent on his feet. Dungey under duress throws it away. Christian Wilkins with the pressure.
The screens have not been there for Syracuse. That's about the 3rd time they've tried to set up a screen to no avail. Clemson is all over it, reading it quickly.
And Todd, when we talked with Dabo Swinney yesterday, we said when you made the decision Saturday night after the game, and it was pretty clear to most people around your program that Lawrence was the better quarterback. When you got ready to tell Bryant, did you anticipate the possibility that he might tell you he was going to leave school? He said, I never gave it a second of thought. It's the last thing that I thought was going to happen. 2nd and 10, crowd roaring. Dungey gets it off, but for nothing to Jamal Custis. Isaiah Simmons there again. And we should also point out that Dabo Swinney told us yesterday they've left the door open for Bryant.
Yeah. Well, and again, he would welcome him back. He loves him as a kid, loved him as a player and a leader, wanted him to still be a part of the program and be a leader.
Right now it's the defense that's the focal point. Syracuse huddling, unusually so, taking a lot of time here with 4 minutes to go in the half.
If you're Eric Dungey, your defense is playing good, your special teams are playing great. Don't do anything foolish here with the football.
Clemson rushes just 3. Dungey has a man, floated the pass, and the catch is made by Jamal Custis. He's had a couple of big drops in each of the last 2 games on deep throws. A sigh of relief on the Syracuse sideline as he caught this one for 32.
Isaiah Simmons, who's been playing linebacker, was back in a safety position and didn't get over in time to help Terrell the corner. You can't give up that play if you're a Clemson defense.
Trying to set up a screen, and Dungey finds Custis for a 9-yard gain, 9.5. And they're across midfield.
2 throws in a row to the biggest receiver out there. Custis at 6'5", 215 pounds. Wow, big plays.
They've been waiting for Custis to make big plays. He, as you said, has the size. He ran a time 4.440 on a laser. He looks the part. Today he's playing the part. Mo Neal gets the first down. Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, a big development on the Clemson sideline. After examining Trevor Lawrence in the tent, the athletic training staff has taken his helmet away. He was sitting out here watching the game for a little bit, but the consultants all got together, and they are now walking him off the field to the locker room for Clemson. They're not going to let him stay out here. Try to get an update on further information as soon as I have it.
Dungey. And that's what the coaches have told him to do. Get all you can, but don't get carried away with your competitiveness. Get down or get out of bounds. He got about 9, and Lawrence walking slowly toward the Clemson locker room as this happened.
Undisciplined pass rush this time by Clemson. They got too far inside. Cleveland Farrell got too far inside, and Dungey saw that and had a lot of green grass in front of him.
2.5 to go. It's a reverse. It's the speedy Sean Riley looking for a block. And he got taken down at the 31-yard line.
It's a nice play by Kendall Joseph, because I thought that they had him. Kendall Joseph got there in a hurry and took Riley down for a very minimal gain.
Now, Todd, Syracuse likes to go fast. You wonder if they'll slow down the pace a little bit here as they approach the red zone. Don't leave any time on the clock. Harris The intended receiver, Mike Lynch, the play call.
One of the things that we have not seen from Syracuse in their offense, and Mike Lynch, that we saw a lot of last year, was some wholesale shifts and movements of personnel, changing the formations in dramatic ways. That caused a lot of confusion for Clemson a year ago. They've been a little bit more conservative so far in the first half of this one.
They are in field goal range for Schmidt. Dungey given a pocket, and his receivers making plays for him today. Nice over-the-head catch by Devin Butler.
Yeah, going against a freshman, Kyler McMichael. In there, a backup corner. Nice job shielding the defender and then going up and making the high point catch. And another conversion.
Third catch for Butler. Had 7 all year coming in. From the 20, over the middle. It's Butler again. Inside the 15-yard line, taken down there by Trey Lamar and Kendall Joseph.
Clemson's defense is reeling right now, Sean. They had him pinned back. They had him 2nd down and 10. The crowd was in it, and then a couple big plays, and now they're on their heels.
The sun has come out. There's cloud cover when we started the game. The temperature now in the low 80s. It's humid. And this is the 11th play of the Syracuse drive. And it's Dungey ahead for very little. Neither team compelled to take a timeout here.
And Brent Venables has Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence on the sidelines right now on this 3rd down play, trying to rest those guys. Other than the Texas A&M game, they've been able to kind of limit those guys in their number of snaps. This is a crucial 3rd down play, and those two guys are watching.
3rd down 4. They've had a couple of big conversions on their drives in the 2nd quarter. Dungey spins away, throws it away.
Well, they fooled him on this one. This is kind of a 2-man rush from the outside, and both defensive tackles are going to drop. The 2 outside guys rush. The defensive tackles drop. It ends up only being 3 pressuring the quarterback, and it fooled the protection, and it fooled Eric Dungey, and he had to throw the football away.
Kendall Joseph, Cleveland Farrell, and here's Schmidt, 2 for 2 today. He's kicked 2 field goals. Syracuse has a touchdown, which was the first touchdown allowed by Clemson in the first half in their last 11 home games. Trying to give Syracuse a 2-score lead with the half approaching. And it is good. From 32 yards out, 24 seconds to go in the half. Number 3 in trouble at home with the injured quarterback as well. Universities All-State will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, All-State. 3 field goals today for the redshirt freshman Andre Schmidt. Dino Babers, Amari Rogers back deep for Clemson, told us last night in the preseason, obviously your kicker's trying to kick the ball to the uprights. He said they have a camera pole. They don't put a person up in the camera tower. They just have a pole, and it's right between the uprights. He said kick after kick, Schmidt not only make every kick, he would hit the pole that was dead center behind the uprights. Amari Rogers.
Didn't matter which hash or where he was lined up on the field.
Clemson will start from inside the 25. Expect whiteout conditions tonight. Top 10 matchup. Ohio State and Penn State. I know a former Penn State quarterback who will be hurrying to a TV. 7:30 Eastern time on ABC and on the ESPN app. They're the AP Top 10 rankings brought to you by Goodyear. Clemson trailing Syracuse here as we approach the half.
Well, and let's talk about the quarterback situation now, because Chase Bryce is the starter and his backup is a true freshman, Ben Batson, who's coming back from an injury.
They have Bryce drop back to pass, and wow, how ugly is that? And then as he's about to hit the ground, he flips it forward. And I know you're down by 2 scores.
An incomplete pass. The quarterback was out of the pocket. The ball extended past the line of scrimmage. 2nd
But
down.
you may just want to take it to the house if you're Dabo Swinney and regroup here. Bryce, like so many players on this Clemson team, highly regarded prospect, redshirt freshman out of Grayson, Georgia. He has appeared in each of the 4 games this year in mop-up time. Now they are going to take a knee.
They got their hands full. I mean, they had their hands full with Trevor Lawrence when he was playing with this Syracuse defensive front. They really had their hands full right now.
Timeout, Syracuse.
Whoa. Well,
Good.
Dino Babers.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
He has one more timeout left, so he could use it after this play as well.
I mentioned Ben Batson, the true freshman who's coming back from a fractured finger, so he's not all the way back yet. They also have worked Hunter Renfro in quarterback plays. They also have a freshman wide receiver, Darian Kendrick, who is a 4-year starting quarterback in high school who could be possibly used at some point.
Well, this is interesting. The timeout by Dino Babers. Will Clemson get greedy here? No. Etienne yanked down. Syracuse going to use its last timeout and force a punt.
Timeout, Syracuse.
Or Clemson could run around for 3 seconds. Crowd doesn't like it.
Syracuse, I just don't know that they could do much more right than they did in this first half.
Yeah. To me, you're almost getting a little greedy if you're Syracuse here. You know, there are a lot of explosive athletes. Etienne's a guy who could bust a run on a play like the one they just ran. So Trevor Lawrence was the backup. The start of the year appeared regularly in each of the first 4 games. Outplayed Kelly Bryant, the starter for a year plus. So Lawrence named the starter after the game at Georgia Tech last week. Kelly Bryant told the coaches on Tuesday he was leaving, and now Lawrence hurt in the first half after a hit to the head. So here's the depth chart: 3 freshmen and a wide receiver senior, graduate student Hunter Renfro. They're not lining up to punt. And now, if you're Clemson, why not launch it deep down the field? Hope for a big play, hope for pass interference. Well, they're going to run it. Etienne swung down by Chris Slayton to end the half. A rare halftime deficit for the Clemson Tigers. It's their largest halftime deficit since they trailed Florida State by 20 points in 2013. Here's Holly.
Well, Coach Sweeney, the unthinkable Trevor Lawrence injured. What do you know about his status to return in this game?
I'll find out when I get in there. Just said he took a shot and got banged up over there, so they're checking him out, and hopefully he'll be able to come back. But we got to. I'm locked into what's happening. They outplayed us is the bottom line. Really critical turnover early, and they've made more big plays. They've hit a couple big plays on us, especially a big one on third down, backed up right there. And then they've made field goals and we missed ours. So they just outplayed us. But good news is we got another half.
Can you calm your guys down now with Chase Bryce maybe having to go in the second half? How do you regroup right now a little bit?
Fixing to find out.
Can I ask you about the injury when you come back out? Will you tell me? Thank you.
Kevin DeGandhi, Mac Brown, Jonathan Vilma. They're standing by with the State Farm halftime report coming up after these messages.
It all started at one family night in Dumfries, Virginia. Family night is for everybody.
A bit limited. They've got to play a conservative game, I think, and hope that their defense can really kind of win the day for them.
Syracuse kicks off to begin the second half. And Amari Rogers elects not to bring it out. And here's Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, as you said, I spoke with Dabo Sweeney. School could return to this team. We asked Dabo Sweeney if he would take him back, and he said, heck yeah, I love that kid. I imagine Kelly's at home watching. It will be interesting to see what he does if this changes his decision in any way moving forward.
And we have inquired, Holly, with the Clemson sports information staff if he has withdrawn from school or if he has remained on campus here. He is probably agonizing as he watches this, knowing he'd be in the game right now. And these players with whom he has toiled for several years trying to win when they could really use him. Etienne tackled by Ryan Guthrie, and it's a 5-yard gain on first down. So here's Chase Bryce, who came in for the final seconds of the first half. Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator, told us they're very confident in Bryce. He gave it to Etienne for a first down. Highly recruited, smart. They love his arm talent. Number 15 ranked high school quarterback in the country in 2017.
And similar to Trevor Lawrence, he knew what the competition was like here. It didn't shy away from signing with Clemson. And now getting an opportunity.
And they keep it simple for him. If that keeps working, why wouldn't you just keep handing it off straight ahead?
And that's what I mean. This is what they've got to lean on right now. Don't put the pressure on the new quarterback. Run the football and play the defense that you're capable of playing in the second half.
19-yard gain for Adam Choice. All handoffs for Bryce. Choice again. And Trill Williams the tackle, and Clemson is going fast on this opening drive of the second half.
Now what this will open up, this running success will open up an opportunity to call a safe play action type pass, get good maximum protection for Chase Bryce, and let him take a shot down the football field.
Another run. Etienne stopped short of the first down at the 35. They are on the edge of field goal range. Kendall Coleman the tackle for Syracuse.
I think this is two-down territory for Dabo Swinney. I really do, because I think that they've got to get some momentum here to start the third quarter. They've got to find their way into the end zone again and get this crowd revved up again.
Etienne wrapped up by Kylan Whitner, and that one will depend, as it always does, on the spot. Whitner's trying to make the claim that he bounced to the line to make, but they mark it on the yellow line, and Jeff McConaughey, the referee, says first down Clemson at the Syracuse 33. 6 plays on this opening drive of the second half, all of them rushes. Amari Rogers couldn't turn the corner, got a yard. Kylan Whitner there again.
Right, that play shows you what Kylan Whitner has meant to the defense. He was a safety last year. He moved to linebacker in the spring. He's a very smart guy, and he's one of those guys that just, you know, he doesn't wow you with his athleticism, or he doesn't flash, but he just makes plays. He's a good tackler. He's in the right spot. He does the right things. That was excellent defense.
Not highly recruited, was going to go to Appalachian State. Etienne in trouble and down for a loss, chased down by Chris Slayton. And Kylan Whitner, and Whitner on the All-State AFCA, American Football Coaches Association Good Works team. Only 11 players in the country in FBS football honored for their community service. Young man who's done 2 mission trips to Haiti, deeply involved with his church and a number of other charitable endeavors in the Syracuse community.
Syracuse showing zone defense here. 3 deep safeties, only a 3-man rush.
And they still put pressure on Chase Bryce and dump him back outside the 45-yard line. What a strong rush by Kendall Coleman.
And again, this can't happen. If they're only going to rush 3, you've got to block. You've got 5 blockers. They're rushing 3. And Kendall Coleman just whips the right tackle. The left tackle is your best player, Mitch Hyatt. He's beaten by Kendall Coleman. And that's just, again, the Syracuse defensive line. All week they've heard of how great the Clemson defensive line is this season, and they've held their own.
A promising start to the drive for Clemson. Then a punt and a fair catch made by Sean Riley of the kick by Will Spires. Student sections, passionate fans like these by awarding the best student section of the year. The Clemson Tigers student section certainly already on the national watch list. This is one of the loudest stadiums in the country. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Very conservative opening drive of the second half for Clemson, engineered by Chase Bryce, who 1 week ago was the 3rd-string quarterback. First possession of the second half for Syracuse, and Dante Strickland gets a yard.
I think what's really important right now for Syracuse, Dino Babers, offensive coordinator Mike Lynch, they've been together for a long time, dating back to their time at Eastern Illinois. They have to play aggressive and call plays aggressive. They've got Clemson on the ropes a little bit here, but they cannot get into a mode of playing not to lose.
Nope. Fast is their thing. On target and in stride. Dungey to Jamal Custis for a first down to the 35-yard line. Trayvon Mullen made the tackle.
Took his time on that fake, and because the fake was so delayed, it really affected the linebackers. They started coming downhill.
Quick pop to Riley. Sean Riley for 2 after a 20-yard completion to Custis.
You know, it's amazing to me, Sean. Last year in the Carrier Dome, Syracuse, against this Clemson defense, had 440 yards of offense. They averaged 5.3 yards per play. Right now, early in the second half, they've got 244 yards, and they're averaging over 6 yards per play. So their offense against this vaunted Clemson defense for 2 years in a row has really kind of had their way with Brent Venables' group.
And Trayvon Mullen, starting cornerback for Clemson, is still down on the ground. 9:54 to go third quarter. Syracuse leading 16-7.
You don't need any special training to start slinging.
But you do need to limber up.
What a building that is. It's state-of-the-art, doesn't give it enough credit. Trayvon Mullen, the injured player. Here comes a blitz, and Dungey threw it into a crowd. Trey Lamar blitzing. Here's a look back at the injury to Trayvon Mullen right before the commercial break.
They got rolled up under, and valuable part of this defense. And we should mention one of their key backup corners, Mark Fields, a senior, is suspended for this game, and he would ordinarily probably be the next guy in. He is not even available in this ball game. That's why we're seeing a freshman, Kyler McMichael, number 21, in the ball game.
Syracuse started the game slowly on third down, then converted on scoring drives. Late in the half, the pass intended for Jamal Custis. Syracuse 3 out of 9 on third down. Started the game 1 for 5, and then had that big third down conversion on a 51-yard play after a penalty. Took him from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6 in the first half.
The other thing that they've done is they have not given up a sack. Last year, Syracuse sacked Eric Dungey 6 times, and those are momentum plays. No sacks in the ball game so far today.
Sterling Hoffrichter's had another great day. This is another one high in the air. Even only 1 punt returned all season long against Syracuse. 46-yard punt.
The sub.
Here in a sea of orange, Syracuse and Clemson in an ACC battle. Syracuse trying to pull off a major upset for the 2nd year in a row, leading 16-7. Very conservative play calling for Clemson with the 3rd-string quarterback at the start of the week. Chase Bryce in there. Tavian Feaster tackled by Ryan Guthrie.
Well, and if I'm Syracuse right now and Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator, I'm going to put an extra defender in the box to outnumber Clemson in the run game and dare this quarterback to prove that he can beat me throwing the football. Now, Clemson has good receivers, but this guy has to prove himself.
And they come after Bryce. He throws on target. Short of a first down. First catch of the day for T.J. Chase.
Clemson had 32 yards rushing on that last possession, their first possession of the second half. And I think Syracuse has to say, look, we're not going to give up those easy runs. We're going to put the ball in this new quarterback's hands and see if he can make throws against some tight coverage.
Bryce, 3 out of 4 passing, but for just 4 yards. Syracuse showing blitz. They bring pressure again, and the throw is intercepted. Trill Williams with the pick for Syracuse in Clemson territory as the ball sailed over the head of T.J. Chase.
TJ Chase was a little bit late getting out of his break, but he had separation. And if the ball is thrown towards the sideline, it's a completion, but it's thrown back towards the field. And Trill Williams, who the coaches told us during summer camp, by far and away, he led our team in interceptions, has great ball skills, a freshman out of Yonkers, New York, and a huge interception there on a third down pass.
They're very talented. You can see the increase in the talent level in the recent recruiting classes with this staff. 8th interception of the season for Syracuse. Last year they had 4 the entire season. Didn't have one in the last 8 games of the year. Dante Strickland stacked up after a gain of 1. Kendall Joseph leading the way. So Syracuse +2 today in the turnover margin. They now have 11 takeaways this year, Todd. They had 12 the entire season last year when they went 4-8 for the 2nd year in a row under Dino Babers. Babers looking to go 5-0 with his Syracuse Orange today and pull off a big upset for the 3rd year in a row. That's a costly loss. It might take them out of field goal range as Dungey's dumped by Clelin Ferrell back at the 42.
Clelin Ferrell actually would have tackled either guy. If Dungey keeps it or if he gives it on the swing. Watch 99. He tackles both of them. And Dungey ended up keeping the ball, and Ferrell was there along with Austin Bryant.
Crowd trying to get back into it, but you can feel the anxiety with the drama of the week with the starting quarterback prior to this week, Kelly Bryant, leaving the team. The throw is almost intercepted. Dungey's pass nearly picked off by Tanner Muse, intended for Jamal Custis. Muse has scored a touchdown in each of the last 2 years against Syracuse on defense with an interception return and a fumble return.
Well, the freshman corner, Kyler McMichaels, is lucky his safety came to help because he didn't know where the ball was. And that big-bodied receiver had him in position to make the play, but Tanner Muse came over from his safety spot to knock the ball away.
Well, the Clemson defense doing its job. More than midway through the 3rd quarter. The 3rd-ranked Tigers still down by 2 scores. Hoffrichter's been one of the stars of the day. Did he get too much foot on that one? He did. Here's a look at the Pacific Life game summary. Trevor Lawrence making his first career start, his 5th career game. They've been a backup to Kelly Bryant. It wasn't a big half for him, 10 out of 15. But injured late in the half, took a hit up high, won't return. A 51-yard play, Dungey to Taj Harris, set up the first touchdown given up by Clemson in the first half at home in their last 11 home games, and the last team to score a touchdown in the first half here against Clemson. Pittsburgh, the last team to win here against Clemson 2 years ago. Chase Bryce handed it off. Travis Etienne. They have, as Dino Babers told Holly Rowe, they have enough explosive players on the Clemson sideline to win without Lawrence at quarterback.
Well, it's the same thing. If you're going to load the box and bring a safety down, that safety, if he's unblocked, better make the tackle. Andre Cisco, number 19, missed an open tackle.
And it's a 16-yard gain. Etienne trying to find some running room. And he's gang tackled after a pickup of 2.
You don't need to panic right now if you're Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott. Even though you've got Chase Bryce in the game, you've got field position right now, but you're only down 9. So you're not in a position where you've got to really wholesale start throwing the football all over the place.
On 2nd and 8, off-target throw intended for T. Higgins.
Another throw behind the receiver. And he had him open, just like the interception. The ball thrown instead of to the sideline, thrown back inside.
And really a tough spot for Bryce.
Oh, it's really tough.
Very few reps prior to this week when he moved up the depth chart to number 2. Redshirted a year ago. As mentioned, played limited action in each of the first 4 games of the year. Third down and 8. Crowd a little restless as the officials have stopped the play. We're not quite sure why. They're trying to make sure they've marked it correctly. Moved the ball about 6 inches.
This is where you need Hunter Renfrow maybe to step up and make a play for the young quarterback.
So 2 catches today. More pressure from Syracuse. Bryce steps away from it. Down the field and caught. Hunter Renfrow does make a play inside the 30-yard line.
The 2 receivers are going to cross, but Bryce does a great job of getting outside the pocket, buying a little more time, and then you see the acrobatic catch by Hunter Renfrow. When you need a big play, 13's the guy that's going to get it for you.
27-yard gain at the very least in field goal range. A field goal would make it a 1-score game. Etienne tackled from behind by Ryan Guthrie, the senior linebacker from Cumming, Georgia.
And that play right there should energize Chase Bryce. He's missed a couple throws. His receiver made a great catch for him. He should feel a little bit different.
You surprised Syracuse is coming after Bryce as much as they have?
Not really. I mean, I think you got to mix that up. You got to make him read some things, but they want to pressure him and see if he can make tight throws against man coverage.
Etienne got walloped behind the line of scrimmage. The talented freshman safety Andre Cisco out of Valley Stream, New York, and IMG Academy in Florida leads the nation in interceptions with 4 entering today's game.
You asked that question, Sean. When you play man coverage and you bring pressure, you force a quarterback to make throws where a guy may not be wide open, and you gotta put it in the right spot.
Brian Ward said, I think we can get pressure with 4. You know, you think you might cover and make it harder for him to find the open receivers. It's a trick play. It's a pass by Amari Rogers, and it's an incomplete pass. Might have been out of bounds anyway. Intended for the big T. Higgins at 6'4", 210.
Very well defended. Trill Williams was not fooled on the play. Had help. Scoop Bradshaw over there as well. I mean, this was just really, really well defended. Scoop Bradshaw, number 18, just was perfect, just pushing the receiver to the boundary. Even if he catches the ball, he's out of bounds. You can't cover it any better than Scoop Bradshaw did right there.
He's one of those players you mentioned, Todd. Started here 2 years ago as a true freshman, and they endured a 54-0 rout. This is a big field goal try by the veteran. Field goal to make it a 1-score game. He's good from 43. 4:09 to go, third quarter. Number 3 Clemson still down by 6. It's time for today's AFLAC trivia question. Syracuse is trying to become the 3rd team in the last 15 seasons to defeat the same top 3 ranked team in the country in back-to-back years. We want to know what other teams have done that in the last 15 seasons. Sean Riley, Shaim Cullen back deep for the kickoff from B.T. Potter. Continues to blast it through the back of the end zone. And here's the answer to the AFLAC trivia question. I do not know the answer, Todd. Ole Miss, we should have known that. Of course, they were ranked Ole Miss teams. That's not as big a surprise as if Syracuse, which finished 4-8 last year, didn't win a game after beating Clemson last season. If they knock off a top 3 team for the 2nd year in a row. Crowd back into it after the field goal. Syracuse is 0-13 all-time in road games against the top 3, and all 13 losses have been by double digits, the last 3 by more than 50 points. So that's a lot of negative history they're trying to change today. Jarvion Howard, a freshman running back, tackled by Tanner Muse.
Syracuse changing their tempos. They looked like they were going to go fast. Now they back it out. They want to see what Clemson's lined up in. Force Clemson to adjust to formation or changes.
They're trying to pressure Eric Dungey. He was given time, and he throws an interception. Age 25-yard line. A huge play by the sophomore from Atlanta.
He has very good protection. It's maximum protection, but his receiver, Butler, never turned to find the ball. It was slightly underthrown, but I think Dungey was expecting kind of a back shoulder type throw, and Terrell read it and got a much-needed turnover by the Clemson defense. I was about to say Syracuse has done a great job taking care of the football in this 4-game win streak. That was only their 4th turnover lost of the season, but it came at a very costly time.
And the first interception of the year by the Clemson defense. So now from the 25-yard line, a touchdown and extra point for the lead again for Clemson. With Chase Bryce at quarterback, it's Adam Choice straight ahead. You talked at the beginning of the half about the need for Syracuse to keep the pedal on the metal. Do you think they've operated with that same sense of urgency on offense even with the lead here in the third?
I think the play calling has been aggressive. They slowed their tempo down some, but you've got to be effective on first down against this defense. And the last 4 or 5 first down plays have not been good enough.
Etienne stopped at the 20. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5. They've put very little on the plate of the redshirt freshman, Chase Bryce. He's thrown 7 passes, really all of them short throws.
And my suggestion for Clemson, or my thought would be, rather than put your quarterback in these 3rd down passing situations that are the most difficult to read and see disguised coverages, throw on earlier downs with him. You know your running game is kicking in okay. Run more on 3rd down and throw more on first down.
Under 2.5 to go, 3rd quarter. 16-10 Syracuse. The Orange led 16-7 at the half. Bryce throwing to the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Amari Rogers. He and the crowd want a flag that will not be coming. Scoop Bradshaw, the coverage.
Well, again, Scoop Bradshaw in perfect position on the coverage. This is a well-thrown ball. The question is, did Scoop Bradshaw have the right arm of Amari Rogers tied up? He goes with the left hand. A lot of contact, pushing by both guys. I think that's a good no call. It was a really well-thrown ball by Chase Bryce, but Rogers not able to pull it in.
Here's Greg Hugel. 37-yard attempt. They make it a 3-point game. That's right down Clemson Boulevard. And it gets tighter. 16-13 late in the 3rd quarter.
Nothing out.
Back here in Clemson, South Carolina. The Tigers, certainly one of the most talented teams in the country, within 3, set up by the interception by A.G. Terrell. But in the previous 2 seasons, they went up to Syracuse last year, more than a 3-touchdown favorite loss. 2 years ago here, they lost a shootout to Pittsburgh. In both of those seasons, they made it to the college football playoff, but they don't want to have to take the hard road with an early season loss to an unranked opponent in Syracuse today. B.T. Potter. Will he blast another one? Yes, he will. Another true freshman from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Here's Holly.
Well, guys, Eric Dungey, despite the interception, needs to come out and be fearless for Syracuse right now. That is his nature. He told us he's best when he's thrill-seeking, when he's doing backflips off a 40-foot cliff. He said his whole life he's played up to the competition. He was a 3rd grader, played on his brother's 6th grade team. He rises in these moments and these occasions, but this Clemson crowd and team is getting fired up, so he's going to be fearless and reckless. The time is now.
Well, I think fearless is smart, Holly. I don't think reckless is smart. I think he still needs to play smart, but with confidence.
They've done very little on offense here in the 2nd half. Nykeem Johnson broke out of a tackle and turned it into a first down out to the 37-yard line.
That was a productive first down play. They have not done that their last several first down plays, and that's kind of caused their offense to stall a little bit. That was a very productive first down play.
12-yard gain. They throw it out wide. Nykeem Johnson again, upended by Terrell.
Anytime you can gain 4 or more yards on a first down play, that's a win. So that's back-to-back first down plays that are wins for this Syracuse offense, and they're out near midfield.
And seemingly trying to pick up the tempo and go at their usual fast pace. They've gotten a little stale on offense here in the second half. Dungey about a yard, perhaps two, shy of the line to make. And they don't have to snap it again until under a minute remains in the third quarter. Big play call for Mike Lynch.
See, I think it's smart to utilize the clock as well, because the longer this game goes and you're leading, the more pressure it puts on Clemson and their young quarterback.
1 minute to go, third quarter, a huge third down and 2 for Syracuse. Just 3 out of 10 on third down today. They have the freshman running back, Jarvion Howard. They think he's a terrific talent on the right hip of Dungey. They fake the handoff to the receiver. Dungey in trouble and out of bounds, way short of the first down. Chased out by Christian Wilkins.
Christian Wilkins made the play, has leverage, and A.J. Terrell, the corner, does not let Dungey turn the corner. They were not fooled by this play. Cleveland Farrell made it first. Excellent defense on that little swing play. And another punting situation for Syracuse.
Tough to run.
Yep.
Sideline to sideline against this speedy Clemson team.
I think they figured they could fool them. They've had some success running the jet sweep, and that time Clemson into the boundary. Perfect leverage on the defense.
Well, the defense has been tremendous for Clemson in the second half. Syracuse has not scored since the break.
Man, this Hoffrichter.
Another cloud scraper and another muff by Rogers. The third one. He's had a tough time fielding. Syracuse players think they have it inside the 10.
I mean, that's got to cause a little panic.
And they do.
As a punt return, that hang time, you're waiting and waiting for the chance to catch it. And Amari Rogers, who's a very sure-handed athlete, has struggled all day.
Going on the field, the punt was muffed by the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team.
We've seen special teams excellence from Syracuse, and this is a big play by their special team.
By Jamal Custis, starting wide receiver down there in punt coverage. They'll have the ball at the 10 when we go to the fourth.
ACC7 Eyewitness News.
Amari Rogers has struggled all day to field the towering punts from Sterling Hoffrichter. Dabo Sweeney over to console them. It's a big miscue as Syracuse, which had just 37 yards of offense in the third quarter, needed a spark, and now they have it. First down from the 10 with a 3-point lead. Sean Riley gets a block from Custis and got upended at the 6 by Kayvon Wallace, the safety.
I'm not sure Syracuse can win this football game if they don't score a touchdown here. If they have to settle for a field goal, I don't think they can win the game.
Huge
if they
difference.
can get in the end zone, I think they got a great chance to win.
And the defense has come up big time and time again today for Clemson. Mo Neal, the running back.
Your big receiver is in the slot to the wide side of the field right here. He's your big target.
Dungey trying to set up a flat pass, and Neal is upended. Two big plays in a row by Kayvon Wallace, the junior from Richmond, Virginia.
Because the pass was not a great pass and the receiver had to jump and catch it, that enabled Kayvon Wallace to get there and make the sure tackle. If he's able to catch that without changing directions, he might get it closer to the end zone.
Syracuse likes to go fast, but they adjust the tempo to the game situations, taking the time here. Huge third down and goal play. Dungey makes a cut and goes down at the 1-yard line. And now Dino Babers with a huge decision to make.
You got a new quarterback on the other side. I'd say you take your chances. You go for the touchdown, and if you miss, he's got to take his team 99 yards the other way. Go for it.
Yep. And there's no hesitation from Dino Babers to do that.
You have a 230-pound quarterback, and you've got a 290-pound offensive guard / fullback.
Dante Strickland, the running back, told us last night, we follow Elmore, and where he leads, the hole's open. Will Dungey follow him? Dungey keeps the ball, got denied originally, and then got in for a Syracuse touchdown.
he didn't need to dive, and he didn't follow the block. The block was supposed to go right here, and he takes it this way and almost got caught with the dive, but he was able to get it back on his feet and drove it into the end zone.
Well, he told us last night, it's obvious when you look at him, he's put on 32 pounds. When he first got to Syracuse, some thought he was too scrawny, to use the right word, to play quarterback, but he did. But he's been in the weight room. He says one of his roommates, Rex Culpepper's the king of protein shakes, and he needed all of that solidly packed 226 to get into the end zone against one of the great defensive fronts in recent time in college football. Rodgers the miss, and the defense could not rescue Clemson that time. Back to a 2-score lead for the Cuse. Two undefeated teams, 4-0 Syracuse, led by Eric Dungey, 4-0 Clemson. The Orange trying to knock off a top 3-ranked Clemson team in a major upset for the second year in a row. Won by 3 at the Carrier Dome last year, leading by 10 here with just under 13 minutes to go. Hoff Richter, another deep kickoff. Rodgers didn't try to bring it out. Let's take a look at our unexpected outcome, brought to you by ExxonMobil.
Well, this was supposed to be a quarterback counter, so he should have been following the guard and the fullback, but I want you to watch Kristen Wilkins, the All-American. The reason he didn't run where the play was designed, Wilkins blew the play up at the point of attack. And then he almost made the play on the quarterback and stopped him from getting in the end zone. But the sheer strength of Eric Dungey got Syracuse the touchdown.
After Roberts got run over, Conway and Adams, two of those outstanding offensive linemen, helped get Dungey across the goal line. Chase Bryce the toss to Travis Etienne. Kendall Coleman the tackle, a gain of a half yard. Coleman's had a big game coming off-season shoulder surgery.
I think there has to be a little more sense of urgency with this Clemson offense right now. They're down by 10.
With a very flat crowd. Good throw. Best of the day by Bryce. And Justin Ross gets them out to the 42, and they'll run quickly to the ball after a 16-yard gain.
Yeah, this is a good time to kind of pick up the tempo a little bit. Nice conversion there. Again, I think you're better off throwing on first down and getting yourself in running type situations on third down.
Tony Elliott, the coordinator, said Bryce has a lot of moxie. That'll be tested here. They're leaning on his moxie and his arm talent. And that's a first down to the 43-yard line of Syracuse. Justin Ross again with Antoine Cordy to stop, 10 yards.
They love Justin Ross. Big-bodied freshman receiver, very polished coming out of high school. Chance to be a great one here.
Out of Phoenix City, Alabama. Said, we have some players who have freakish athletic ability. He is freakish. Said Elliott about Ross. Lots of running room. Etienne with Renfro trying to block on the perimeter. Nifty drive here by Clemson. Trying to get right back within one score with a long way to go. That's 16 yards.
And you can just feel the energy in their offense. A little quicker tempo, a little more bounce in the step, and a quarterback who looks a little bit more confident.
Came in late in the first half when Trevor Lawrence went into concussion protocol, left the game. That pass off the hands of Amari Rodgers, who's having a day he would like to forget.
Yeah, he just doesn't look like himself. He is the consummate pro, a great preparation guy, takes care of his body, really bought in and dialed into everything. But I think his struggles today are affecting him. He doesn't look like his normal self right now.
They are in field goal range. That would make it a one-score game. Etienne, the running back, and he takes it through the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and scores a touchdown for Clemson.
Two unblocked guys with missed tackles. Watch number 41, Ryan Guthrie. There's the first missed tackle. Then one by the safety, Cisco. And what a block all the way down the field by T. Higgins, the receiver. Clemson answers with a nice touchdown drive.
Just a minute and 49 seconds. The redshirt freshman Bryce takes them down the field. 75 yards at 6 plays. To make it a 3-point game, Greg Hugel the extra point, and a long way to go. 11:08 remaining. Travis Etienne has a knack for finding the end zone. It's his 7th touchdown of the year.
Discover more ways to shop at Walmart today. And in part by Pacific Life, experience the power of Pacific.
A look through our progressive pylon cam. A lot of big plays, near plays made near the pylon cameras in this one. Crowd was flat when the Clemson offense came on the field for the last drive, down by 10, but they're back fully engaged in this raucous venue, Memorial Stadium in Clemson, South Carolina. E.T. Potter, doesn't matter which direction. It's a touchback. Our Week 4 Monday Night Football matchup. Great AFC West rivalry. Patrick Mahomes, the story of the early season in the NFL, leading the high-flying Chiefs into the Mile High City. To take on Von Miller, the sack master, with 4 already this year. For the Denver Broncos, 8:15 Eastern Time on ESPN and on the ESPN app. 13 touchdowns, no interceptions. For Mahomes, they believed in him when they put Alex Smith on the road to Washington, and boy, has he rewarded that belief.
Boy, he'll be zipping that ball through that thin air in Denver, too.
Wow. Syracuse back on offense. They've done very little on offense here in the second half. Scored a moment ago after a 10-yard drive set up by a muff punt, and Mo Neal gets 6 on first down.
Yeah, that's a good, tough 6 yards. He had 221 yards of offense in the first half, and under 60 since then. So that 6-yard run on first down, huge for them right now.
Dungey with time, wide open receiver. Devin Butler breaks a tackle and scampers out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Kyler McMichael, one of those true freshmen in there for Clemson, did not make the stop.
That's right. Remember, Trayvon Mullen injured earlier in the game, had to go out. Mark Fields is suspended, the senior backup, and so we've got a true freshman, Kyler McMichael. That time, not only did he go up to completion, he didn't make the tackle.
And it results in a 17-yard gain. Approaching 10 minutes to go. Mo Neal. Cross midfield, got down to the 46-yard line of Clemson. Another quality gain on first down. Isaiah Simmons made the tackle. Last year, Syracuse put the game away on its last possession with a drive of more than 6 minutes. Their coaches felt like the pace wear the Clemson defense down. Hasn't been a blistering pace today. The time of possession almost dead even between these two teams. Bad pass by Dungey after the pump fake. He floated one out there short of Nykeem Johnson.
Well, I've been impressed with the Syracuse offense and defensive lines. I mean, you can do all kind of tempo and trick plays and motions and everything, but football still comes down to, can you win in the trenches? And Syracuse's offense and defensive lines have been good enough to put their team in a position to win in this ball game today. They've not allowed a sack of their quarterback, Eric Dungey, yet.
Veteran offensive line, they've been terrific, though they have not always won the line of scrimmage on 3rd and short. Dungey powers ahead and will not get there. Christian Wilkins again, and now Dino Babers with another big decision to make. On 4th down and less than a yard, it seems, inside the 45-yard line.
I think they have to measure this one. I think this one's awful close.
Yeah, they moved the ball back a little bit, almost to the hash mark, almost a full yard. No sign of the punt team. Aaron Hackett, a tight end, runs on. Dino Babers in his 3rd season with one of the big play calls of his tenure as Syracuse coach right here. 4th and 1. Dungey, it's a long pass to the tight end Hackett. What a call, and beautifully executed. There is a flag down in the middle of the field.
I think it might be a lineman downfield on Syracuse. I think that's what this play is going to come back. Great call.
Belgian player downfield, offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty.
Well, not beautifully executed.
It's the left tackle, Cody Conway. Watch him right now. He's going to get past that 4 yards. Beautiful call on 4th down. It's a delay to the tight end. He knows he's going to get hit. Yeah, that's an easy call and negates a beautiful 4th down play. Eric Dungey got hit right in the chest by Cleveland Farrell. He hung in there, and that would have been the play of the game for the Syracuse Orangemen.
Instead, it forces the punt from Hofrichter. To average more than 47 yards per punt. One thing he didn't do well earlier was try to drop it short of the goal line. That's the second time in trying to pooch it. He's kicked it into the end zone. So Clemson down by 3 starts at the 25 when we come back.
We're more than just...
Third-string quarterback Chase Bryce was just minding his own business this week, doing a limited role with this offense, 8 career attempts as a passer, and all of a sudden he is now thrust into this game with Kelly Bryant quitting the team, Trevor Lawrence being injured in the first half. The coaches are over here on the sideline constantly coaching him up. Dabo Sweeney in his face telling him what he needed to look for on those plays. Brad Scott saying, you got to look here on trips. He is just in the heat of it right now.
Starting from the 20 after the touchback, he hands it off to Travis Etienne. That's a tired-looking Syracuse defense on some of these runs here in the 4th quarter. And Etienne with a new career-high rushing as he rumbled out to the 37-yard line for a gain of 17.
Missed tackles and guys trying to reach to rip the football out. Not effective against Etienne.
178 yards rushing, 8.5 yards per carry for Etienne today. Bryce, a little too high. But just in the movements into that throw, Todd, he looks much more comfortable than when he first came into the game.
Absolutely. You know, the good thing for him is he actually did get in the game last week against Georgia Tech in their big win. He threw an interception, so he got a little live game action last week, which was helpful. But nothing like what he's experiencing right now with 8:15 left in the ball game.
1 week ago, they had Kelly Bryant, 16-2 as the starter. They had a 4-0 team. They had Trevor Lawrence, the freshman backup. Boy, big trip there by Etienne, who looked like he was about to gash the Syracuse defense again.
Picks up 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 7.
That was a big trip because now it's 3rd and 7, and the pressure's on your quarterback. Etienne could have easily made the first down, I think, if he keeps his feet on that run.
Under 8 minutes to go. Chase Bryce, the 3rd-string quarterback 7 days ago, thrust into a major spotlight for a team with national championship aspirations and national championship talent. They managed to make the playoff despite surprising early season losses the last 2 years, but they're playing with fire again. Kendall Coleman swung him down back at the 31.
Well, this is a mismatch. Kendall Coleman's working on a tight end, Mylan Richard. Here's the matchup. You normally want your tackle blocking the defensive end. It's a tight end. The back is late trying to help. That's Etienne, and an excellent play by Kendall Coleman. You know, Coleman is a guy who is playing his best this year as a senior, and he's really benefited from all the attention offenses have given to Alton Robinson on the other side. Take that back. He's a junior, but he's one of those guys that's been starting for 3 years. Yeah.
Will Spires. Not a great punt. Crowd groaned as Sean Riley called for a fair catch. Syracuse will start at the 32-yard line.
1 Eckrich smoked sausage left.
In South Carolina, a couple of 4-0 teams, Syracuse and Clemson. Syracuse has not been 5-0 since 1987. They had an undefeated regular season, 11-0 under the late great Dick McPherson, and played Auburn to a tie in the Sugar Bowl. They lead by 3. Shovel pass to Dante Strickland. 2-yard gain. We talked to Eric Dungey last night. Senior year, they have not been to a bowl game. He said, I don't want to say a bowl game's the goal because then you limit what you're trying to achieve. He said, we think we can win every game we play. They've done that so far this season. Today, by far their biggest test. Dungey threw incomplete for Strickland.
Big play right here for him. Again, he's got to be smart. Aggressive, but smart. Fearless, but not reckless. That last play, Christian Wilkins was dropping in pass coverage. You have the 4 best defensive linemen, or arguably the 4 best in the country. They would all be coming after the quarterback on this play.
Dungey out of the gun. Lofts one over the middle. A little lob pass for Sean Riley. Trey Lamar put pressure on. And Syracuse a very quick 3 and out. And this offense has done very little. We're upset-minded Syracuse against Brent Venables' defense here in the second half. Syracuse has 79 yards of offense since the break.
But that short punt by Spires on the last Clemson possession at least allows this guy who's been kicking the heck out of the ball to change the field here.
And a new punt returner with 3 muffs. One of them lost by Amari Rogers. It's Hunter Renfrow back, and this is another ball that might hit a satellite on the way back down to earth, and Renfrow makes a fair catch at the 12-yard line. 56-yard punt by Sterling Hoffrichter. In ABC college football presented by Walmart. During the punt just before he went to a break, a holding penalty against Clemson.
Yeah, Kavion Wallace, number 12, is going to grab the snapper, Matt Keller, and just throw him to the ground. An easy penalty to see and to call. The bad news for Syracuse, Matt Keller
He's
in
hurt.
some pain and heading to the locker room.
He's a dependable snapper. So they're getting the backup Aaron Belinsky ready.
With Syracuse's special teams have been outstanding today. A big reason why they are undefeated this year and winning this game today.
So a walk-off half the distance. Clemson starts from the 6 with 6 minutes and change to go. Etienne, another big run. He's heading perhaps for a 200-yard game. Josh Black took him down. That's 14 more for the sophomore from Jennings, Louisiana.
Nice job on the inside blocking of Clemson. They're all ACC center. Justin Falcinelli, John Simpson, Sean Pollard in there at the guards, handling the 2 inside tackles for Syracuse right now.
Etienne's up to 195. Still plenty of life in his legs, and that's a big tackle by Guthrie, who's made some big ones and missed a couple.
Yeah.
That kept Etienne hemmed in, and we're under 5.5 to go. Clemson, by the way, has rushed for 232 yards. They're 48-1 under Dabo Swinney when they rush for 200. The only loss in the ACC title game to Georgia Tech way back in 2009. Crowd quiet, give the offense the chance to execute, and they're nervous. Adam Choice. First down to the 33-yard line. Andre Cisco, the freshman safety, the spot. We're under 5 minutes to go.
Under 5 minutes. Clemson has all 3 of their timeouts, and a field goal would tie and force to overtime. So they're not in a situation where they have to score a touchdown to have a chance to win the football game.
Veteran kicker in Hugel, his career long's 49. He's never tried one of 50 plus. Tavian Feaster. That defense looks very tired for Syracuse. Antoine Cordy made the tackle, but it's another first down for Clemson. Briskly on the move, started at their own 6. They're out to the 44. All 3 timeouts left for both sides. Less than 4.5 to go. Feaster. Just shy of midfield.
Nice job running in there in the inside. Matt Bockhurst now is in at left guard, replacing John Simpson, trying to keep those guys fresh as well. Nice block on that play.
Another highly recruited player, redshirt freshman out of Cincinnati. He was an Under Armour All-American. Under 4 minutes to go. Syracuse with pressure off the corner. And Feaster tried to turn that corner, but there's Ryan Guthrie again. In his second year at Syracuse after 2 in junior college. Trying to give Syracuse one of the big wins in program history, and with a win they'd be ranked certainly for the first time since 2001. But 3.5 minutes to go. Chase Bryce, the redshirt freshman quarterback. Trevor Lawrence started. Took a hit up high after the protocol. He did not return. 3rd down and 4. Etienne did not get the line to make. The Clemson player is indicating he did, but he's almost a full yard short. And Dabo Swinney will certainly go for it. The clock will run under 3 minutes to go. The Tigers down by 3.
When we saw Syracuse with a 4th and 1, they went to a trick play, a play action pass. Beautiful call, but it was called back for a penalty. Clemson's going to call timeout and talk this one over.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
I think Etienne is your hot hand right now, but he's not the biggest of your running backs. He's the smallest of your running backs, but he has been the hot guy.
Here's a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Syracuse leading 23-20. They scored first in this game. Trevor Lawrence made his first career start. He tuned in late. Kelly Bryant was the starter for last season and the first 4 games of this season when he was replaced as the starting quarterback after the game last Saturday night. He decided that he was going to leave school. We are told, by the way, by the Clemson Sports Information Bureau, he's still enrolled in school.
Yeah.
So we don't know how long Lawrence is going to be out. They haven't asked Bryce to do much. But the running game is keeping them in it.
It absolutely is. And again, I think they run the football here. If this was Syracuse, they'd let their 230-pound quarterback probably run the football. But with Syracuse and your third-team quarterback, I think it has to go to your back and count on that offensive line to make the way.
Etienne, the running back. They bring Amari Rodgers in motion. Etienne threw a big hole, flag down, and it stopped the play.
Prior to the snap, false start.
Wow.
Offense.
The right guard left early.
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Gage Cervenka, who is a backup center guard, he's pulling, and he leaves early. Just a half a beat too soon.
No doubt about it.
And now it's 4th and 6. 2:50 left, 3 timeouts. You have a great defense.
Are you saying you should punt?
I think you punt the football here.
Well, it's been the ground game that's kept them in here in the second half with the very inexperienced quarterback Bryce in the game. They just used the timeout. They only have 2 left.
2 now.
Will they put it on the arm of Bryce, who's 6 for 12 passing today for 63 yards and has now thrown 20 passes as a college quarterback?
Hunter Renfro.
Can he make another big catch? He made the catch that won them the national championship 2 years ago. Bryce with lots of time. What a throw! A strike for a first down to T. Higgins.
And watch Chase Bryce use his eyes to look off the safety and then come back to Higgins. Perfect throw. Earlier in the game, Sean, we saw him make that throw too far to the inside. It got intercepted. That was perfect, and his confidence showed by what he did with his eyes to move the safety.
On 4th and 6, they get 20. Now they're in field goal range. It's Bryce on the surprise keeper. He has a first down. He powers his way down to the 15-yard line.
Nobody on the Syracuse defense expecting Chase Bryce to keep this. He makes the right decision because the defensive end crashed down on Etienne. Didn't even pay attention to the quarterback. And Bryce makes a big run.
They started from the 6. Longest run of Bryce's career, 17 yards. 2 minutes to go. Clemson down by 3. Etienne flattened behind the line of scrimmage.
2 timeouts, under 2 minutes. I know you've got your backup quarterback in, but I think you got to play for the win here. I don't think you want to play for overtime because the quarterback on the other side is an experienced, savvy veteran. You've got a new guy in there. I think you got to go for the end zone, go for the win here with a touchdown.
2nd down and 11. Tavian Feaster, the running back. Syracuse brought pressure up the middle. Feaster breaking tackles. Feaster near another first down. At the 5-yard line.
What a great job by Gage Cervenka. Remember the guy who moved early on the 4th down play?
They ruled it a first down. It was very close, but the officials moved the chains. 1st and goal. From the 5. Clock running. Feaster remains the running back. Feaster, powerful run. Yanked down by McKinley Williams. And Todd, I would say to you, if you're Syracuse, time is the enemy now. Clemson has plenty of time. They're either going to score a touchdown or kick a field goal.
They're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, if you're Syracuse, should you be using timeouts here?
I think you should, yeah.
13th play of the drive for Clemson.
If nothing else, to rest your defense and make sure they're on the same page to try to prevent a touchdown.
Clemson has all the time it needs to kick a field goal or score a touchdown, and they score the touchdown. Travis Etienne walks in 94 yards. And the lead for Clemson with 41 seconds to go.
Outstanding work by the offensive line. Watch the right guard, Cervenka down, Pollard down. The left guard's going to pull and kick out. This drive was impressive by the Clemson offensive line and the running of Etienne and Feaster. And one clutch run by the quarterback, Chase Bryce.
And a huge extra point to make it a 4-point lead for Clemson. Greg Hugel, the extra point.
Gage Cervenka got called for the penalty on 4th and 1. He's been in this whole possession, number 59. Blocked like a man this drive.
Third rushing touchdown of the day for Travis Etienne. As you look at it from the progressive pylon camera, a career high 203 rushing yards on 27 carries. That's 7.5 per carry, with good work by the offensive line. Blasting holes in a Syracuse defense that looked like it got really tired in the second half. Understandably so on a warm day when their offense did not do very much.
And credit the Clemson defense. I mean, it's a great defense, particularly their front seven. They kind of got rattled in the first half. They gave up 221 yards of offense, and they put the clamps down in the second half.
Well, the special teams for Syracuse have been excellent, but it's tough to run a kick back when P.T. Potter keeps pounding it out of the back of the end zone. And it's a touchback. Here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Sean. DirecTV, more for your college football thing. Texas A&M up 14 on Arkansas, but the Razorbacks not going away. Ty Story to Michael Woods, 29-yard connection, one-score game on ESPN in the fourth. And coming up at 3:30 Eastern, Baylor, number 6 Oklahoma. Kyler Murray won't start after being late to Friday's practice. Bears Sooners coming up next on ABC. Sean, Todd, Holly, back to you.
All right, Cassidy is that A&M team that gave Clemson a big scare. September 8th in College Station, they had to pick off. The Tigers did a 2-point try by A&M in the final minute for a 2-point Clemson win. The Tigers have rallied for a 4-point lead. Eric Dungey, the senior quarterback. They have all 3 timeouts left, but they have to score a touchdown. They have to use the timeout here as Isaiah Simmons chopped down Dungey at the 32. Timeout Syracuse, 31 seconds to go.
There's a late penalty back by the quarterback box.
Unnecessary roughness on the 59. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
This is a penalty on Aaron Roberts. Unnecessary roughness on Dexter Lawrence. He hit him up in the face area a couple times in his pass blocking, and this is a critical mistake right here. Roberts, the left guard, working on Dexter Lawrence. The quarterback is already leaving the pocket. There's one, and there's another one. The first one was a little bit up in the face. I could see that. I don't know if that's unnecessary roughness.
Well, it's a huge penalty, obviously. They're back on the 13-yard line, and the clock runs. Syracuse did not take the timeout after the penalty.
Look at
pressure! Dungey blasted off the corner by Xavier Thomas.
Coda Martin, the right tackle, Sean, did not see the snap. He does not get out of his stance. He's not looking at the ball. He's late getting out of his stance. And the rush off the edge beats him to the quarterback. Eric Dungey had no no chance on this play.
Please reset the game clock to 20 seconds.
This offensive line that has been brilliant for the most part. Back-to-back plays, big mistakes that are costing Syracuse.
How about the depth on this Clemson team?
Yeah.
Crunch time, they have Xavier Thomas, a true freshman out there.
On the game clock.
Number 4 player in the entire country in high school last year, according to the ESPN experts. He played at IMG Academy in Florida, enrolled in January, so got a little extra coaching here at Clemson before the season started. They put a couple of seconds back. 20 seconds. And Todd, in a game like this, when you're a big underdog on the road trying to do something special, it's the little things. And in the second half, the Syracuse offense couldn't do the little things to pull off the upset.
Yep, you're right. I mean, they were a little less aggressive. I don't think completely less aggressive, but they didn't execute as well. And some of that is due to Clemson, and I think their defense waking up in the second half as well.
Barring a miracle here, I do think that Dino Babers and his team will feel like they had it.
Yeah.
And they let it get away.
Absolutely.
95 yards away in 20 seconds. 2nd and 30. Custis out of bounds at the 18-yard line. They need to get to the 25 for a first down. Excuse me, the 35 for a first down. You pretty much have to at some point drop back and heed one, don't you? Yeah. Take a chance. Prevent defense.
They weren't set either.
Dungey. There is a flag down, and I think you're right. I think they have a procedure call. Xavier Thomas again, an explosive rusher.
Nykeem Johnson, number 82, was trying to change his alignment, was not set when the ball was snapped.
There is no intentional grounding on the play. There was a receiver in the area during the play, illegal shift, offense. A penalty's declined, 4th down.
And this was a gut check.
Ruling on the field
game by Clemson. I'll tell you, they had their backs against the wall.
They have to defend one more play. It'll be an interesting week here. What happens now going forward? Is Trevor Lawrence out for a while? Can he come back and play next week? Is the door still open for Kelly Bryant?
Yeah. Well, I think for sure,
if you're some of these teammates, would you want him back?
I think you would. I think you would. And, you know, in talking to Dabo, the thing he said about Kelly Bryant, says some of the quotes that he had, that's really not him. He was emotional. Maybe he's heard some bad advice, whatever. But he loves his team, and his team loved him. And so I think Dabo would be more than willing to have him back because of how much he thinks of the kid, you know, as a leader and as a teammate, a senior, a guy who's already graduated.
And who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to come back.
Maybe not.
Maybe he today made him realize I can still be a very important part. Maybe the starting quarterback.
4th down.
The national championship winning team. They look to see if Dungey's knee was down. The play stands is called. It had to be an emotional day for him watching this. And who knows? Maybe he's decided the ship has totally sailed and he's gone. But Dabo told us yesterday the door would be open if he wanted to return. He's very well liked. He was surprised by Bryant's decision to want to leave and go to another school, in part because he might go somewhere else, and now he'll take the job that somebody else thought that he should still have, which was exactly Bryant's gripe about Lawrence taking his job, because Kelly didn't feel like he had done anything to lose the starting position. He didn't lose it. Lawrence won it. 4th and 17. Last call for Syracuse. Dungey just did get it off with Xavier Thomas in his face. Here's Dante Strickland, way short of the first down. And time runs out. And Clemson, the victim of big upsets in each of the last 2 regular seasons, dodges a huge bullet against a very game Syracuse team here today.